strapped in here for the ride. 3,000 light years wide. Can't get up off the ground, spinning around and round. Gets bigger every day. So who am I to say there's not someone I can't see looking back down on me?
So you spent almost 2 days in Kimotsuki, having seen the ocean and the mountains. What is your impression?
The diversity of the landscapes is quite amazing. But the other amazing thing is that there are so few people who appear to be appreciating the natural beauty that exists here. From the wonderful hotel I stayed in last night in the mountains to the beautiful spots like this waterfall and the Zen temple that you took me to this morning. The diversity is just magnificent, really, and the 1,300-year-old tree was very, very special.
What about the ocean and the beaches we visited yesterday?
Yeah, look, they were very, very special as well. It's very different to the beaches that I'm used to, but being positioned in such a magnificent location with this little village beside the beach, and you're on your own in this beach. You know, it's almost like it's untouched, but you've got the feeling because of this old village that people have lived there very simply for a very long time. It's really quite a special feeling to get.
So this is your first experience in rural Japan, is it?
That is, yeah. So I had been to Japan once before, but I went to Kobe, and this time I've been to Nagoya, Kobe and Fukuoka, but this is most definitely the highlight of my trip, and I'm very keen to come back and do some cycling through the wonderful roads here that no cars drive on.
So we are trying to present Kimotsuki as sort of a representative of rural Japan. I don't think many foreign tourists know about this part of Japan.
No, well, it seems not, because when I interacted with the people, it seems that they didn't have a lot of interaction with foreign tourists, but they were wonderful. You know, and going into the bathhouses and having the local women show me what I needed to do was very special. And it's I don't think you can get to appreciate culture like this very much these days at the normal tourist destinations.
This part of Japan is sort of, unfamiliar face of Japan. Do you think this will appeal to, for instance, tourists in Australia, people in Australia?
Yeah, I think that people who are looking for something special would really appreciate this area. There are people who are looking for shopping, the city life, but there are a group of people who want to experience something much deeper and touch the culture in a much deeper way. And I think this part of Japan provides that, because it's certainly outside what I thought about Japan. I thought it was all about shopping malls and big cities, but this country life, this rural life here, seeing the old people working in the fields like they've done for generations, it's really a very unique experience that I'm very privileged to have.
So you didn't expect to see this sort of Japan?
No, I certainly didn't. And the Zen temple, you were telling me about the many temples in Kyoto, but there's many people going there. And this Zen temple where the man dug it out by himself over 30 years. I think that's an extraordinary story, and I've not heard of anybody doing that anywhere in the world. So just from the feet of that one person, created that very special place and opened it up for everybody. But it seems very few people get to see it.
What do you think you were impressed the most with during your 2 days stay?
The first one is the 1,300-year-old tree. That was just magnificent. It's, as you said, a wild tree. It looks like an old man. And it's got a heart in the bottom of the tree. And the second one was the Zen temple.
You know, there are so many places like this in Japan, and they have not been promoted to the outside world.
Yeah.
Do you think by promoting this sort of place, people would come from overseas?
Yes, I do, and I think the people that would come would be the people that would really appreciate it for what it is, and not try and make it something it's not. I think I believe it's very rare in a country like Japan that you can experience that the way that I've experienced it over the last couple of days, thanks to your generous hospitality. It's been quite an eye-opener for me to know that you can experience Japan in this way. I think what's really important about this area, that it is still in such a natural state, that it's so important to maintain that and the conservation of this area, because it really is so unique in the world to see it. So I would be very devastated if I came back in 5 and 10 years and saw these all developed into tourist glittery type destinations. It's very important to keep the natural aspect of it as much as possible.
I think that's why we need people like you, who can appreciate, who can look at our environment from a different perspective, because locals do not realize how lucky they are.
Yeah.
You can tell them, you guys, you're so lucky.
Yes, that's right. Well, but that's true of everybody. We don't really appreciate what's in our backyard, but the majestic nature of what people have to enjoy here is people would pay lots and lots of money to experience this in a developed world. But here, the cost was very little, and beautiful meals, just wonderful food, very cheap.
So we don't have to offer anything special.
No, that's the beauty of it. Offer exactly what you have now. It's what you have is gold in terms of the people and the environment that you have. You just need to open your heart, like the big tree, opening your heart. People will come and enjoy it.
So do you think as part of the program, it is essential, it's necessary to get you people in touch with the local people and local culture?
Yes, I think that would be just add a dimension to the experience that you wouldn't be able to get, I don't think, in many other parts of the world. Obviously the languages are different, but human communication doesn't have to be through language. It can be heart to heart or just eye to eye. And I've been able to communicate quite well without any Japanese, except domo and dosa. So it's, I think, that if the little villages, all the little villages that are so close together, were able to open up a little bit and welcome in the tourists to participate in a little tea drinking ceremony. People could ride from village to village, and it would be a very unique experience in the world.
So you enjoyed your short stay in Kimotsuki?
Very much. It was a very. It was funny because I wasn't sure what to expect, and I try not to have expectations. But it was the diversity of what I saw and experienced was what really surprised me. And it's great.
So do you wish to come back again sometime?
Absolutely, yes, I'll be back.
Thank you so much for liking our town, and please come back again.
Thank you. Domo, domo. It was wonderful, and thank you for your guidance.
Strapped in here